You are welcome back to African Colonization TV and Biafran History. In today's topic, we dive into why British hate the Igbo people and fight against Christian Biafra in Nigeria during the Biafran War. In today's video, we are diving so deep concerning the history of the Igbos and the stories of the British, why the British hate the Igbo till date. And then whenever they talk about the Igbo, whenever they talk about the Biafra, the Nigerian states, they will be very, very angry. And the British themselves, they don't want to hear anything concerning Biafra. And that is the reason why. And the reason why the British, that is the Christian country, up to today, the Christian country, the people that brought Christianity into Nigeria. So after the Portuguese, so them themselves, the British, they brought Christianity full in the Biafran land, and that is the main reason why the Biafran people, the Igbo people, they accept Christianity, due to them as the colonial masters. The British, they had Christians. Because of the influence of their Christians, they may like them, or whatever they want to do, they may be accepting them. So they now accept Christian. But during the war, something happened. The British people, the British country, the British colonies, they dislike and they suppress the Igbo people to the extent that the war themselves, they are the ones that even fought the war by themselves, not even Nigerian people. They are just using Nigeria as a camouflage to use to fight the war. So in today's video, we are diving into very deep concerning all those stories and everything that happens during the, and the main reason why the British don't want to use their ear to hear anything concerning the Biafran or concerning the Igbos. So as you're about to watch, like, subscribe, and I would like to hear your comments down below. What do you think about things happening in Nigeria today, and also something that has been happening
in the late 19th century? The British arrived western Igbo land, aiming to control trade, impose taxes, and dismantle indigenous leadership systems. Before the British, Igbo land was a collection of independent communities ruled by councils of elders, Umunna, Umuada, the age grade, and titled men and women. This confused and worried the British because they couldn't easily impose their direct rule system. For years, the Igbo traders have been successful in palm oil, ivory, and textiles, and the British wanted monopoly of these goods. They wanted full control over the land, the people, and their trade. Resistance from any Igbo community was met with violence, taxation, and forced labor. This gave birth to a strategic resistance group known as the Ekumeku movement in Anioma. It was a secret guerrilla movement that used silent tactics as their power. They moved like shadows and disappeared without notice. They struck in secrets and communicated in encoded messages and sounds. They were like ghosts in the forest, highly strategic and disciplined. While the British used guns and cannons, the Ekumeku warriors relied on spears, swords, and the efficacy of some indigenous magical skills. Some of their key coordinators were Chief Mwoko of Idumuje Uboko, Obi Osai of Ogwashuku, Odogwanyasi of Idumujuno, Dibia Ida of Onitsha Olona, Ochie Areze of Ubuluku, Obi Okafo of Owa, Obi Agbogidi of Ibusa. The British, frustrated by the continuous ambush and attacks, launched their first major counter-attack in 1890. Some of the Ekumeku leaders, including Obi Osai of Ogwashuku, were captured and executed. After this, the British thought they had won, but the Ekumeku was not just one person, it was a movement. So they regrouped and was even stronger. They gave the British a tough battle for many years. But by 1900, the British had fully declared Anioma as part of their colonies. But the Ekumeku warriors refused to submit. They attacked British colonial headquarters, destroyed government buildings, and targeted British allies. But the British, with more backups, responded with advanced weapons, including machine guns and explosives. Villages like Ibusa, Ogwashuku, and Owa suffered massacres, with thousands killed or imprisoned. But they kept resisting, they kept fighting, they kept launching attacks on the British. By 1914, with the British using heavy artillery and burning towns, the Ekumeku resistance was finally overpowered. But even though the movement ended, it inspired later resistance across Igbo towns, and the Ekumeku warriors remained legendary resistance group in history. The Ekumeku movement was one of the longest anti-colonial resistance movements in Africa's history. For 31 years, they resisted. The story of the Ekumeku warriors reflects the Igbo proverb, Umunna bụ agha, Igwe bụ ike. The British, though, came with guns and cannons. The Ekumeku movement fought with unity. You know, I keep thinking, what if the Ekumeku had won? What would the Igbo society be like today? Well, it's a question for you to think about too.
In case you didn't believe that, I'm going to play another very short video for you. Now, this is a video of the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, where, of course, the person that is championing for this cause now, where he exposed some things about these people and these people. Please, it is very important. And why I love that video is that he was speaking with evidences, with facts. So it's not just a kind of propaganda. He was speaking with facts. As I said, we need to learn. We need to learn what has happened so that we understand why the things happening now is happening. So please, I want you to listen to the leader of this group now. Please do well to listen to him.
The Willings report that divided us. And I'm going to read this Willings report tonight for all of you to understand where this mess began, where the stupidity of our people started, where the balkanization of Biafra started. That thing that I told you a while back, that the British deliberately brought division into our land. It's called divide and rule. Ask them, it is that template. When they were conquering useless, primitive African people, that was their mantra. Divide them and you rule them. Once you cut people into 2 or 3 or 4, you can now rule them. And after a while, you gossip to them and they start fighting each other. That's it. And you keep taking all the resources. That's why Africa is poor and very wretched. Now let me read the Willings report for you. This is a report published in 1958. Britain knew they were going to hand over. People think that I'm not anti-British. I hold a British passport. As I said, I'm an Anglophile. I love everything about Britain. But there are evil within which must be exposed. It is that evil that I'm exposing. So anybody carrying a propaganda that Nnamdi Kanu is against Britain, you're wasting your time. I am Anglophile to the core. My parents went to Anglican church. Anglican church means English, for your information. So, I want you to understand the truth, and that truth shall set you free. What is that truth? That Britain knew that Biafra was special. That's what I'm trying to get at. Britain knew that Biafra was very special. Britain also knew that there was something very unique about Biafran people, especially an Igbo man. Britain knew that only an Igbo man, I'm not being arrogant. It's just the truth. Because of their experiences in the Caribbean, in Haiti, for instance, and also in the Americas, they knew that only an Igbo man will have the courage to rise up to say that evil is evil. There are a lot of saboteurs or traitors, hardcore traitors within, that they understood that. And they think far, unlike our people. So Britain knew they were going to hand over power in 1960. So what they decided to do was to try and divide the only people they knew would give them headache. Not give them headache, we're not going to go to war with Britain, but because Britain never wanted Africa to develop. Britain, forget all this aid they give you 1 million to you people are fools. Britain never ever wanted Africa to stand on its 2 feet. Never. Even after colonization, no, of course not. They gave the powers to the Fulanis, the Janjaweed. And now what Britain did next will shock everybody. They proceeded to divide Biafra land to sow discord. All this I'm in Niger Delta. I want to let you understand where it started from. Somebody kindly posted it. And here it is. This is the Willing Commission report of 1958. What did this report say? The report says here, more than 98% of people who inhabit this area, the Igbo Plateau, that's what they call it, of the eastern region, are Igbo and speak one language. 98%. Now listen. Though, of course, with certain differences this is a white man's report. Please listen very carefully. I don't want to be going through this. When an idiot says I'm Niger Delta, I'm South, I want you to understand that it was Britain that planted that idiocy, that stupidity and foolishness in their brain. This is the report that I'm reading to you. Please listen attentively. There are nearly 5 million of them, and there are too many for the soil to support, that we are too big to live in our land. But before the white man came, there was no beggar in our land. Everybody had a job to do. You see the white man, you see how Britain behaves. You see them. This was the one before us. This was just they learned their trick. Nobody asked them, oh, there was no hunger in our land, though. But all of a sudden they're saying that the land, that we are too many, our population is too many for the soil to support us. They are vigorous and intelligent. The white man is saying that we are intelligent. Biafran people are intelligent. It is in the Willing report. Exactly what Lugard said in 1914. When I say they say they are too pompous, it's not me. I am intelligent. White man is telling you that. Look at it, it's here now in the report. It's very clear. Do you see where the jealousy from the Fulanis come from and other people? Do you see it? Because no report by a white man referred to any other group as being intelligent except Biafran people and Igbos in particular. I will say it is the truth. It is here now, in black and white. That thing I told you when we started. Why Joseph's brothers hated him? Because he was loved by the father. The same thing I said to you, that the jealousy we experience every day is because we're intelligent. We are blessed. So if you're blessed and very intelligent and people are not jealous of you, that means you're nothing. If people don't talk ill about you, you are nothing. That means you don't exist. Now listen, they are intelligent and have pushed outward in every direction, seeking a livelihood by trade or in service in the surrounding areas of the eastern region, in the western region, in the north and outside Nigeria. The white man is saying that these people are industrious, they are very intelligent, they are moving out, they are everywhere, they are moving, trying to better themselves. This is the report, white man. They are no more popular with their neighbors than in the case of an energetic and expanding people whose neighbors have a more leisurely outlook on life. I am going to do a special, I can't even continue. I am going to do a special, do you know what the man said? This is a white man, Willing, a white man, he said, that we are popular. Biafran people are very popular. Very, very popular. Because we are energetic and expanding, and our neighbors are lazy. Because of that, they hate us. A white man wrote, not Chineke, not me, not anybody, not a Biafran report, willing report. Now you see why they hate you and will always hate you. You see why they hate IPAB and some few, 2 or 3 people. We are intelligent and we are blessed. I'm going to do this report as a very special program. Maybe I should try and do it tomorrow when we restore all our services. I don't do broadcasts every day. Maybe I'll try and do it tomorrow. Listen carefully. Though there has been no great kingdom, forgetting that there was a map of the kingdom of Biafra where God only is the king. Biafra, it is there. I will show them tomorrow. Again, though there has been no great kingdom or indigenous culture, they say we have no culture. You see, Oyibo, in the eastern region, the coastal chiefs grew on their trade with the European ships and they and adapted customs, clothing and housing more advanced than those of the people of the interior, on whom they had at first prayed for slaves. What the man is saying is that he is on Ibibio Efik, that they are slave traders of Igbo people. Are you listening to this? That Igbo people had no culture, but that the Izon people, Ejo and Ibibio and Efik, the riverine people, that they acquired a culture by virtue of their interaction with the ships of white men. You see how they do it? I read in England, so I know their tricks. I know all these games. I know how to do it. It's like before you sack somebody, you bring them and say, oh, you're very good. You are very clever. Hey, you are very, very excellent. But meanwhile, here is your termination letter. I know their brain. I know the way they reason. I know how they operate. I know them very well. This is their classic move. Divide and rule. First of all, they started by talking about the whole of the East. And after a while, they took away the coastal region. I said, oh, coastal region, by the way, you people used to go and catch slaves in the Igbo slaves, and you bring them to us. You sell them to us. Which is a lie. You see how they roll? Unbelievable. It is too much.
Oh yes. I hope all of you understand everything that happens in this video, starting from the beginning to the end, and then where Mazam Kanu address the whole thing, the cause of those British, the hate, why they hate the Igbos, and then the issue of concerning the jealousy, hatred, and the rest of them, and then the issue of Ekumeku War, starting from 1900 to date, and then during the 1960, and how they got independence. Starting from there, everything started. So already everything is there in the history book. It's for those who have time to read and to search the main cause of those issues, the reason why the British joined hand in hand to suppress the Igbos, to make sure that the Biafra did not see the light of the day. Up until now, they are still fighting. Because of why? Because of the belief that Nigeria is their company, is their company. They have bought Nigeria with their money, which is the Loyal Niger company, which they bought it with their money and with everything. And they have sold it to Fulanis. Now they are now selling it. They are now selling it to Tinubu. So everything that is happening, it is there in the history book. All those things is the cause of the hatred. Why they hate the Igbos. They hate the Igbos because of the Igbos. They are intelligent. They understand everything the Britain understand. And they are willing to develop their place wherever they find themselves. They are willing to develop there, and their thinking is like the whites. And the whites, they don't want anybody to think like them, and they don't want any Japan to be elsewhere than to their place. So the British find the Igbos as a threat to them. So that is why they do every means to fight and to bring down anything concerning Biafran down, because they see if Biafran finally succeed, today African would have been singing a different song, and the Igbo, the Biafran, the entire of Africa would have been a different thing as it is today. So that is how it is. Well, I would like to hear your comments down below. Like, subscribe, and make sure you share the video to go around. Let others see things happening in Biafra land, things going on in Africa. Thank you for watching.